Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. A little special announcement. Next week, Tuesday specifically, August 16th, that will be a special edition of NoDQ&A video. Why? It will be the 5-year anniversary from when I first started NoDQ&A video back on August 16th, 2011. Crazy that it's already been 5 years. So if you can, please share a link to this channel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any social media site. Please help spread the word about NoDQ&A video. I appreciate all the support from you guys, and that's the best way to show your support. Send a link to the video. Now with that being said, let's get down to your questions today. First one comes from Ty Marshall. What are your thoughts on Damien Sandow going to TNA? I'm happy for him that TNA picked him up. I'm hoping that he's getting a decent payday from TNA. I'm not really sure how TNA is able to afford him at this point, but he's there. He's in TNA. He's now known as Aaron Rex, which I'm not really thrilled with that name. What is his logo going to be? A dinosaur? I mean, I'm not sure what to make of that name. Doesn't really sound very marketable, but that's TNA for you. I hope he does really well. I hope that he's a big success in TNA. I do not see him turning TNA around or anything like that, but I do think he'll have a decent run there, and he should be able to at least help a little bit in terms of getting people interested in TNA. I'm just not sure how much. It might make a slight difference, but I really wouldn't expect anything more than that. This one comes from @CodeZillaHD. Do you think WWE will sign James Storm? Maybe team him up with Bobby Roode to reform Beer Money? I doubt it. I think James Storm had his opportunity, and sometimes opportunities only come once in a lifetime. WWE has plenty of talent. There's no shortage of talent that WWE can bring in. There's so many guys that want a spot in the company. James Storm had that spot. He went back to TNA. I would be surprised if WWE brought him back. And he's in the middle of this big storyline right now in TNA, and it is minor spoilers, so skip ahead a minute if you need to. But on next week's show, he gets in a big confrontation with Billy Corgan and gets indefinitely suspended from TNA. So they're doing this big angle with him, trying to build him up as something special. And I don't see him leaving TNA as long as the company is continuing to stay on television and they stay in business. I think he'll continue to have a significant role there. He's been one of their most loyal guys. And yeah, he did try to go to WWE, but it didn't work out for him. He came back to TNA, got a good deal, and it is what it is. Got this one here from KGC UK. What are your first impressions of Bobby Roode in NXT, like the music, promo, and so forth? I love his entrance theme. It is glorious. That's really the best way to put it. That's one of the big differences between WWE and TNA. WWE knows how to produce catchy entrance themes that fit the characters. With TNA, they're so generic and they really don't fit the characters very well. I'm not a big fan of Damien Sandow / Aaron Rex's new theme. Yes, he does have the WWE theme song at the start, but then it goes to this generic theme song, which did not catch my attention the first time. Maybe it'll grow on me, but I doubt it. And with Bobby Roode, I mean, the first time I heard that song, I'm like, this is awesome. He is going to get so over just from this theme song alone. And that's the power of a great entrance theme. That alone can get people over. If you have a catchy theme song, that can really help you, and that adds to your act. That can do so much for your career, just having a cool entrance theme. It's really important, actually. And I think it's great for Bobby Roode, and so far he's doing really well, and he needs to be on the main roster as soon as possible. I've said this about a lot of guys, but he really should be there mixing it up with the best in WWE on the main roster. This one comes from Marcus S. Do you think that Bayley and Asuka at TakeOver Brooklyn 2 should be a no DQ match? Hell, if it was my decision, every match would be a no DQ match, you know what I'm saying? But seriously, I'm fine with them just having a regular match because they'll tear it up one way or another, but it is nice when you have a second or third match in a series to add a stipulation to it. So yeah, a no DQ match would be nice, or some sort of stipulation. We just saw Balor and Joe have a cage match, so I wouldn't do that. No DQ seems to be a good option. Any kind of stipulation would be nice, but at the end of the day, a normal match would do just fine. Crowd will be going insane for it. Should be an awesome match. Doesn't really need the gimmick. It'll be great regardless of what kind of stipulation they have. Got this one here from Callie. Hey Aaron, do you think Buff Bagwell's class action lawsuit against WWE stands a chance? No. And I'm a Buff Bagwell fan. I like the guy. He was very nice to the NoDQ.com crew when we interviewed him over a decade ago. He even helped us prank one of the internet reporters, Matt Boone, which was a great moment back in 2002, 2003. At the time, that was a classic NoDQ.com moment back when it was still the Mayhem.com. And Buff Bagwell, I think that he got the raw deal in WWE. I think him and Booker T went out there and there really wasn't anything they could do. The crowd did not want to see WCW on that night. The crowd booed WCW earlier on the show when it was mentioned. Booker T and Buff Bagwell could have been going out there and having cruiserweight classic caliber matches. Maybe that's not true. Maybe if they went out there and had some tremendous match, they would have won over the crowd. But that crowd just did not want to see WCW. But despite all that, I doubt Bagwell's going to be able to succeed with this lawsuit. There have been so many guys trying to get money out of WWE, and it almost never works. WWE has such a top-notch legal team. It's really hard to fight them. And, I do feel that some wrestlers are owed royalties, but to be perfectly honest, I really doubt a lot of people are subscribing to the network for Buff Bagwell. I mean, would he really be entitled to much of anything? Yes, he was a pretty big star in WCW, but I'm not sure that his name is making that much of a difference to network subscriptions. If he could make that argument, maybe he'd have a better chance of getting something out of WWE. But I don't even know if he can legally win the fight. I mean, even if he had a case, the WWE legal team is just so powerful, and it would really take a lot to get anything out of the company, I think. Got this one here from Darren Holding. With Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry going into the Hall of Fame, do you see them going into the Hall of Fame while still wrestling in WWE? I think it's unlikely for most of them. Maybe Undertaker will go in and then have a final match, or same with Triple H. But I think for most of those guys, they will go into the Hall of Fame after they retire. And that's really what makes sense. Unless it's like Ric Flair, from 2008. He went into the Hall of Fame and then had his final match at WrestleMania. I could see that for one or two of these guys, but I don't think it's going to happen with all of them, or even half of them. I think most of them will just retire and then eventually go into the Hall of Fame. Got this one here from R.I.P. Mitch. Do you actually believe that WWE is going to have Eva Marie as a top wrestler on SmackDown Live? If WWE has any say in it, yes, they are going to do everything in their power to make her a superstar. I said this a year and a half ago. They see dollar signs in her. They think she can be a very marketable star for the company. And she's got the look, she's got the attractiveness, and clearly her losing her top or having the wardrobe malfunction, that was the most watched SmackDown video on YouTube. And, it just goes to show that even in 2016, sex still sells. They're trying to hide her weaknesses, the fact that she's not that good in the ring, and they're just trying to build her up as a character and hope she takes off and they can make money off of her. That's the goal. And, they're a company that's trying to make money. So, can't really blame them for that. This one comes from Luigi M94. If Dolph Ziggler doesn't win the title at SummerSlam, do you think he'll remain a big deal on SmackDown, and should he? Again, I think it's too little too late. I like Dolph Ziggler as much as the next guy, but I really don't have that much invested in his character right now. The whole thing of him doing Shawn Michaels 2.0 with the super kick and the outfit, I mean, he had his own identity several years back, and now it feels like he really doesn't have an identity. He really does feel like just a Shawn Michaels clone. And it's hard for me to take him seriously at this point. And I'm not sure if a lot of great performances will save him and make him credible again. My gut feeling is he's going to lose at SummerSlam, and then he's going to go right back into the same position he was in before he got this push. Same thing with Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder got that big push out of nowhere, and before he could blink, it was gone, and he was back to just being a guy. That's what I think will happen with Ziggler. Does he deserve better? Absolutely. The guy is extremely talented, and several years ago he should have been pushed to the top when the crowd was just so into the guy, and he was doing really well for himself. When he won Money in the Bank, the place just went completely unglued. That should have been his year, and it wasn't. And now I feel it's too late. This one comes from James. Hey Aaron, which Cruiserweight Classic match was better? Ciampa versus Gargano or Bushi versus Alexander? Both blew my mind. I finally got a chance to watch some of the Cruiserweight Classic matches, which is why I'm answering this question now. And, both matches were great. I mean, these guys are tremendous athletes, and they can do some crazy-ass stuff in the ring. This tournament has reminded me a lot of PWG's Battle of Los Angeles, just one quality match after another with guys that can do some really amazing stuff in the ring, just top-of-the-line athletes, and I think I would give the slight edge to Ibushi and Alexander. I mean, I think both of those guys, really all four of them, should be signed by WWE and be on Monday Night Raw in the Cruiserweight division. All four of those guys can really go, and that's the kind of excitement WWE needs on their programming. Just like when WCW had the Cruiserweight division, and they also had the NWO, and WCW was a variety show. They had something for everybody, and I think signing these guys and putting them on Raw will definitely help WWE and help fill the time in a meaningful way instead of just filler segments. But yeah, I think I would give the latter match a slight advantage. Both were great. I mean, both were awesome matches, and the Cruiserweight Classic is really something totally different from WWE's. The whole sports vibe to it, and the different lighting, the different ring, the different look to it. It's just something we haven't seen ever in WWE history. So it's a nice change of pace. Got this one here from Boston Rules 15. Is this one of Jericho's best heel runs of his career? He's not as vicious as he was in 2008 versus Shawn Michaels, but he's been so great. I would definitely say that this has been his best run since 2008/2009. Jericho has really stepped it up, and I think he's doing a lot better as a heel than as a face. I just feel he plays that role better. He's really good at just being obnoxious and wearing the scarf and doing all that stuff. When he came back at the beginning of the year and did the stuff with New Day, I felt it was lame, him with the scarf. He turned heel, and he's been great ever since. So sometimes you just gotta make a change. If something's not working, you change up the character, you do a turn, and you see where it goes. And with Roman Reigns, that could have been something huge, but WWE has been fighting it, and they continue to fight it. And you look at what happened with the New Day when they went heel, when Jericho went heel. Something was lame, the character switched, and the character got red hot. So, just saying. Got this one here from Marco. Is WWE protecting Del Rio by not losing clean to Randy Orton, and by having Del Rio look strong, hitting Orton with the chair? I was definitely surprised by that outcome. I was expecting Del Rio to do the job to Randy Orton leading into SummerSlam, since Del Rio has no clear direction. But interestingly enough, despite all the rumors about his status with the company, he was protected to a degree. He did not lose the match to Randy Orton, although he did get RKO'd afterwards, despite hitting Orton with a chair. So in a way, he still kind of got destroyed by Randy Orton, but he did not actually take a fall in the match. So WWE did do a little bit for him to protect him. So you have to wonder if they're still not giving up on him, and they're going to try to do something with him at some point. Hopefully soon, because it just seems like he has no clear direction. maybe for Backlash they can do something for him. Got this one here from factception.com. WWE is returning to Canada with Survivor Series, first time since the Screwjob. Your thoughts? Keep it up. I think that's great that Toronto's finally getting a pay-per-view. It's been long overdue for them. Maybe WWE doesn't like the fact that they are so anti-babyface and pro-heel. Bizarro land, as WWE commentators like to put it. And, maybe they're going to fear that the crowd will not cooperate with what WWE wants. Guys like Roman Reigns are probably going to have a bad night. But it should be a very interesting show. And since it's been the first, Roadblock doesn't count, the first major pay-per-view in Canada in several years, it should be a really hot crowd and should help make Survivor Series a better show. So I'm definitely looking forward to WWE's return to Toronto. That'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. A reminder from earlier, next episode we'll be celebrating the 5-year anniversary of NoDQ&A video this coming Tuesday, August 16th. Please spread the word about NoDQ&A video. Share a link to this channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. Also, you can send in questions for this milestone episode. It will be an extended version, so I will be answering a lot of your questions. Twitter.com/AaronRift. Use the hashtag PAIV. Please answer in video. And on that note, I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.